Hi, and welcome to Thor's Day Comics. I'm Tom Scioli, author of Jack Kirby, The Epic Life of the King of Comics. I Am Stan, a graphic biography of the legendary Stan Lee, and Jack Kirby's Star Warriors, The Adventures of Adam Starr and the Solar Legion. And tomorrow, Friday the 13th, the Kickstarter campaign launches for WITCHMAN, a new superhero comic. Follow the link in the show notes below to find out more. So this is a great way to read Jack Kirby's comics, these treasury editions. In there is Whom the Gods Would Destroy, Thor number 126. And this is the first issue where they drop the Journey into Mystery title and just call it The Mighty Thor instead of Journey into Mystery with The Mighty Thor. They said it couldn't be done, and here are the guys who almost couldn't do it. Stan Lee, the literary lion, Jack Kirby, the penciling pussycat, V. Coletta, the delineating dragon, Artie Simic, the lettering looks it, featuring the long-awaited clash of titans between Mighty Thor and Hercules. Another Mighty Marvel instant resume. Hercules has come to Earth. He's got the big eye for Thor's chick. Goldilocks is bugged, but good. So they're fighting it out. There, that's as painless as we can make it. Not even Hercules, son of Zeus, may strike Thor with impunity. Your overbearing conceit is a standing joke in Olympus, Thunder God, but now I'll rid you of it forever. So what you're about to see is one of Jack Kirby's issue-length fights. This fight goes pretty much the whole issue. It's a stunner. It's definitely in Jack Kirby's top 10 all-time slugfests. I like that it's a grudge match between two equals who are, fighting for the attention of Jane Foster, or so they think. And yeah, it starts out with a bang of the two of them crashing through wall and glass, and they don't seem the least bit bothered by it. These two are equal combatants. They're the young hero of each of their pantheons, and they have their totems, their weapons that they can match one against the other. And Jane Foster is anguished by all this. No, they mustn't fight over me. If one of them should be hurt or worse, never mind that. Does my store insurance cover damage by immortals? And so, look at this. Just great battle, beautifully staged by Kirby. Got some great close-ups of the anguish in Hercules' face. And then Odin is still super pissed at Thor revealing his identity to Jane Foster. Now Odin's trying to decide the best way to punish him. He's watching him on one of his many view screens. Now we're back with Thor, and again, great fight, great depth here as he throws his hammer at Hercules and at us. And then the two of them crunch this truck against each other. Really great stuff. And, as I was talking about in New Gods Sunday School, I think fans of the New Gods were hoping for a fight on this level between Darkseid and Orion at some point in Jack Kirby's New Gods, and we just weren't going to get it because Darkseid and Orion are not Hercules and Thor. It's a different kind of story, and this one, spectacle is a big part of it. These two really do want to show who's the better of the two, and Hercules is a showman, so he's really putting on a show. His hand comes down like a hammer. You can see how this kind of stuff translates into Frank Miller's Sin City. And now they've crashed through the ground and onto the train, the speeding subway train, and that doesn't stop them one bit. They're fighting on top of it. Then they get off at a station, smash through there. Now they're at a construction site. I love this little bit. Thor takes the tread off of a bulldozer and starts whipping it at Hercules. Mayhap even thou hast heard of the Grecian prowess at throwing the discus. He punches this giant wheel at Thor. It goes flying through the air. Now he's got Thor kind of woozy, goes in for the kill, but Thor is still in it, throws a punch, and now a beautiful splash page, which looks extra special in this oversized Treasury edition. These two combatants are barely contained within the borders of this page. Similar to what was going on in the last parts of New Gods, Odin can't bring himself to administer the punishment against Thor. Seedring the Merciless volunteers to administer the punishment, and he looks pretty formidable. He looks sort of like he looks merciless. He looks almost like he'd be Odin's master torturer, maybe like a Desaad kind of figure. I'd like to see the original art for this to see what the border notes say, because it seems like a lot going on in this panel, story-wise, that's in the dialogue. Because we sort of have this close-up here, and this close-up looks to me like it's Seedring, but the dialogue balloons make it as though this is Odin. So I think, this is a little bit of a misstep, and I'd like to see what it says in the border notes. It has Odin saying, "Give ear to the judgment of thy liege. I shall cause the power of Thor to ebb from his limbs until it be but half that which he rightfully possesses. But most all-wise, if thou cause him to lose half his powers now, whilst he needs it most in battle with Hercules, it is possible that death itself may be his fate. Silence! My son is a god. No lesser punishment would be seemly. I have spoken." And so he gives the power to Seedring. Seedring shoots the beam of punishment. Thor gets zapped, and now he's got half the power. "What is this? Thou, who hast endured my mightiest blows, injured by a mere bolt of light? Or can it be that my attack hath finally weakened thee, as it was intended to do? What has befallen me? For the first time I am truly staggered by a single blow." So Hercules is sort of allowing his ego to tell him a story that it's not this beam of light that his great fighting has finally weakened Thor. He lifts up a building. I love when Kirby's characters do this. He lifts up a building, drops it on Thor, but Thor is holding it up with his hammer. Even with half his strength, he's still hanging in there. "Since thy strength hath deserted thee, Hercules' zest for battle is gone. Therefore, let us put an end to this farce. Prepare for thine undoing, pitiful one." Thor is not defeated yet. "It is as I feared. He seemed not to feel the blow. If that is all the force thou canst muster, the end shall be sooner than I thought." Now Thor's lifting up this big vehicle, but he can't do it. We're getting a little bit of that sort of, Spider-Man trying to lift an impossibly heavy object. It's just too much for this half-powered Thor. Hercules easily kicks it away. "On thy feet, Asgardian. Mouth the words I am waiting to hear. Tell Hercules that Thor abjectly surrenders. Speak, vanquished one. Never, not while breath remains within me, not while life endures. Still thou fightest on. Still thou strikest at thy master. Thou art truly mad. And this then shall be thy paean of defeat." He won. Hercules beat Thor. What a fight. So the world had been watching. 'Twas to have been expected, and now the jackals gather round the lion. What a story. What pictures. It'll be the greatest sensation since D-Day. From now on, Thor will be a has-been. The champ is dead. Long live the champ. How soon they forget. And yet to have like the hero of a book, completely turf out, completely fail within the pages of a story and not have it, sort of turned around or wrapped up by the end of the issue. Really amazing stuff. This soap opera is continuing to build and go in natural, logical, but also surprising directions. The series is really... it's really a living thing at this point. "Hercules, you're the greatest. I gotta shake his hand. I just gotta. Yay for Hercules. Hercules, remember me? I'm the one who offered you a movie contract before. The offer still goes, handsome. We'll make you famous." "You will make Hercules famous?" "Think of it, big fella. Your own swimming pool, beautiful starlets, fan clubs, TV residuals." "I accept. The world must not be deprived of my great talent." "Man, that cat's the living end. He comes on like gangbusters. He's no handsomer than Thor, but there's something about him. He's so devil-may-care." Hercules gone, the crowd drifting away. "Then it's true. It really happened. I have been defeated at long last. And none there are who stay behind with a loser. Hey gang, look! The Thunder God's back with us again. How about that?" "Huh? If you ask me, he should have stayed in bed. From where I sit, his thunder sounds more like a shaky squeak." This is tough stuff in a 60s superhero comic. So it has come to this. Mighty Thor is naught but an object of ridicule for the masses. "Thor, oh thank heavens you're all right. At last I found you. You, why do you remain behind? Has victorious Hercules no time for thee now?" "Don't say that, my darling. You know it's you I love. It's always been you. It's only been you. I acted like a fool. I only wanted to make you jealous. Nothing more. I'll hear no more. Whatever your motives, you have set in motion forces which cannot now be stopped." Destiny hath dealt us a most tragic blow, my beloved. What do you mean by that? I am no longer the one I was. No longer am I worthy to wear the mantle of Thunder God. No longer am I worthy of thee, Jane Foster. Now must I leave thee. Never shall we meet again until I can regain mine honor. No, you can't. I don't care that you were beaten. But Thor cares. Thor must carry the scar forever. Suddenly a booming voice thunders in Jane Foster's brain, the voice of Odin, Lord of Asgard, a voice quivering with desperate pride. My son was not beaten. His victory was stolen from him, stolen by a shamed and remorseful father. He fought like the true son of Odin. He bore his defeat like a god. But now he hath need of thee. He hath done penance enough. Go to him, woman. I will. Oh, I will. And yeah, off she goes. What a great ending to an issue of comics. It's an all-time classic. And, in the original printing, there'd be like a preview for the next issue here. But it's kind of nice as this sort of silent panel. And you can get a little preview of next issue as the story continues. This is the stuff that made Marvel, and this is the stuff that made Stan Lee and Jack Kirby's reputation. I'm Tom Scioli, author of Jack Kirby, The Epic Life of the King of Comics. I Am Stan, a graphic biography of the legendary Stan Lee, and Jack Kirby's Star Warriors, The Adventures of Adam Star and the Solar Legion. And tomorrow, Friday the 13th, is the launch date for my WITCHMAN Kickstarter. Follow the link in the show notes below to find out more about WITCHMAN, a new comic book superhero. I'll see you next Thursday.